Hi everybody, Jo here again. I thought I'd pop in. It's about time we had that brew, that chat and that cheeky biscuit. Or is it a bit of chocolate? Have you got any chocolate eggs left? Choice is yours. We're going to have a bit of a crafty play and we're going to go along the edge today. So I like to bring something a little different. As you know, sometimes we have full on colour, sometimes we go clean and simple. Today we're going clean and simple. But in my little workshop group, we have challenges. Every couple of weeks, I give the ladies and gentlemen a challenge. And my challenge for the next couple of weeks is a design along the edge. And so by this, we're going to take a piece of card and just our main design along this edge here. Lovely white space here. Sentiment. Not a lot of colour. Again, I'm leaving the flowers just black and white. I want them to really pop, and I just want that stenciling behind. So if you fancy joining me, now this card blank is an A5 card blank. It's a size I love to use. So my piece of card that I've cut is 19 centimetres by 13 centimetres. I know a few of you have been commenting and asking me what sizes of card, and I'm a bit naughty, I keep forgetting. So I made an effort today and I made a note to myself. So this one is 19 centimetres by 13 centimetres. And so here's my piece of card and we'll start. Nice, lovely, as I say, simple design, but I think very elegant and very effective. And also it's using, I need to stamp that up, hold that up so I can see it. We're going to use the lovely new stamps, the Lilium stamps. Now, just going to get my stamp mat or my magazines. So a couple of ladies have emailed me to say that they're new to crafting and they like the idea that we can work along. So where I can, I will try and explain why I do things. And those of you that have been crafting with me for a while, which I do thank you for. Obviously, you know this, so maybe just eat your biscuit while I chat. So for me, when I'm stamping, this is just a craft magazine and some copy of paper, but I find it helps to give me a better image, and that's just personal to me. You can buy stamping mats, but I'm a bit tight. I think I can spend my money on other things, such as another ink pad or another stamp. Now, again, I'm going to stamp my image, and I like to stamp first and then I'm going to add the stencil work, and I'm going to stamp down this here. So we're going for this along the edge design. But for me, if I actually get my stamp, so let me do the stamp I'm going to use first. I'm going to use this one here first, the lovely Lilium. So we've got the Lilium set and the Liliums. Now, for me, I just find it difficult holding and manoeuvring this way. So I find it easier for me to just turn my work on the side. Now I'm going to ink up. I'm using VersaFine Clair, and it's the black, the Nocturne. And for me, again, you know, when crafters, I know a lot of you watch lots of videos, lots of YouTubes, which is great. That's where you get your knowledge. I always say, look at as many different videos as you can and get as many different techniques as you can, and then just find the one that suits you. You know, a lot of these things, there's no right and wrong. What works for one won't necessarily work for another. I mean, I keep saying I've got lots of little quirks, and that's what it is. So I find I want to stamp the sort of the middle one first. I just find it easier for me to almost have that middle design, and then I can go below and above. And I want some of this coming off the page. Now again, I'm using these blocks from All and Create, and the thin acrylic blocks and the flexible, so it does mean you can just flex a little. Always remember to give your ink time to soak into the card. That's more important with your silhouette stamps. It's important not to rush with any stamp, but certainly with silhouettes. So, as I say, that's my middle one. And again, I'm conscious I don't want to come too far in. And then I don't want to copy my original exactly. So I think I'll come in with the larger one. Just move that to the side. Now again, I only need the head of the flower. I'm going to keep that sort of angle, that sort of shape. And I'll stamp that there. Beautiful flowers, these. And I love the way that, because they've almost got this checker, this almost net, they look like they're made out of net. It means if you want to add colour, you can, and they look beautiful. But also I love the fact that you can leave them in black and white. And I'm going to come in with the smaller one now. Again, remember, if you want to use the acetate that comes with them, if you want to just see where it's going to go. Now, I just tend to get a bit of ink on the edges, and I find for me I have to wipe that off. Now we'll just have the little one just in the bottom here. Lovely. And then let's see at the top. I don't want to put the big one because I almost don't want it to be symmetrical. I want it to look a bit more sort of natural. So we'll go with the smaller one. Let's have a look. Maybe just bring it in a little bit more. So that one's fully on. Obviously, when you're creating a design like this, I just want it to be in and out, but also I don't want, like I said, I didn't want it to be too symmetrical. So we just need one at the top. Now, I think the big one, no, actually, I didn't do the big one on my original, but I think I will on this. I'm a bit like that. I'm not very good at doing two things the same. I don't know, are you like that? If you create a design and say a friend asks for one, can you create it identical, or are you a bit like me and you have to do something a bit different? We'll go for that there. I'll give that a good. Yes, I'm happy with that. So if I just turn that over, look at that. Now I'm just going to run my heat tool over these. I mean, again, you can blot them with your copy paper if you want, but just because it's a slower drying ink, your VersaFine, what'll happen is if you don't give it a quick dry or blot it with copy paper, you may smudge it. And how many's have done that before? And then we need an extra butterfly or... And again, always dry from the back. Helps just keep your card nice and flat. So now I'm going to do my stencil work, and I just like to do it because I've got that lovely stamping. I can almost see where I want my stenciling. And I'm going to use the feather leaf. Now, I must admit, I've bought some of these plastic, only off, I think it was Amazon, only off an internet provider. Internet provider? What do I mean? I mean Amazon shopping. I tell you today, I just can't get my words right. But I do find that for my stencils, I like them in a little pocket of their own, because when I've had them a few together, the little bits seem to catch. And also I've just popped the name on because, again, at the minute my memory is just atrocious. So this one's feather leaf. And what I like about this is I like to actually look and use these as sort of the feathers and the leaves. Use them one design at a time. So I'm going to use my Elements ink pad, and I'm going to use the olive and my Lavinia stencil brush. So now what you have to look, these ink pads are very juicy. I have mentioned this before. They're highly pigmented. So for me, what I would do is I tend to try and get in a good routine of always putting the lid on your ink pad. And then I'm just going to take some ink off on my non-stick mat here. This is just a craft mat, but I have to be honest, I use it so much for mixing inks, mixing paints. But we'll just take some of the worst of that off. Otherwise, if it's too solid colour, I mean, a little tip, if you're not sure how strong the colour is, turn your card over and just have a go through your stencil and just check what the colour's like. You don't want to put it on here and it'd be too solid. I mean, that's one thing that I do think I have noticed from workshops. If the ladies are going to make a mistake, a lot of crafters, they get too much ink on, straight on, and oh, it's ruined. What can you do? So it's better to just pop it on the back of your card and nobody will see it's there. Now what I want to do is I want to use, so look for, and I want this leaf shape here. So I'm going to select that one and put it there. I almost want to make it look like these are the leaves coming out, and I love the shape of them. Now I'm not masking off the area around because I don't mind if I get little extra bits. And again, I can lift up and have a look, and that's lovely, that whole design there. So let's have another one coming down here. I'm going to use the same one. And we're just being very selective. Remember with your stencils, you don't have to use the whole stencil. Just select nice little bits. Now this looks a bit bare here. So let's look for, and again, look at all the, I like that little bit there. Right, that will look nice. And I'm not taping my stencil down, I'm just holding it. And I think that'd actually look nice coming in that way. And we'll just ignore that. That's the doorbell. That always happens, doesn't it? But as I say, we'll just ignore that. And I want one going up, don't I? So let's go for this one here. There we go. And it's a little bit of ink off there. I'm not going to take it from the ink pad. I'm just going to take it off my mat. There we go. Lovely. And then maybe, again, there's a little space here. So let's go for that little bit there and just build it up. There's no rush. Just take your time. And remember, we're doing the design along this edge. Now, I like that little circle there. I'm just going to add that there. And then it's about a little bit here. Oh, those three there. Again, don't over ink your brush. And then the last little bit maybe here. So maybe that one just coming down. Pick a bit more ink up from there. Let's just have a look. Just a little bit more there. Flick up. Yeah. Now, how pretty does that look? Can you see that? And again, we've kept this nice random shape. We've got little areas here. So I think that is really, really pretty. So what we're going to do now is just stamp the sentiment here. And the sentiment I've chosen for this one says, "Every dream begins with a wish." And I thought that was quite a nice generic sentiment. So again, I'm just going to ink up my sentiment. And again, on my stamping mat, I'm going to put it here. And again, give the ink time to soak into your card. Now, I have to be honest, whenever I'm stamping a sentiment, I save all my offcuts of card. And so I have long strips like this, and I will stamp a couple of sentiments on these strips. So I always have a piece like this. So when you're starting off, well, not even when you're starting off, sometimes when you stamp a sentiment, maybe you don't get enough ink on it, maybe you nudge, maybe you smudge it. But if you've got a little piece of card, look, you can always decoupage it. And besides which, I keep a few of these. Should I need a lot of my designs, I leave without sentiments. And there I've got an extra sentiment then if I need it. Or I can put it inside the card. So it's always useful. But don't ever, if you smudge a sentiment, don't ever throw your card away. Just stamp it on a piece of card and put it on top. So I'll just give that a blot. Now, all I'm going to do now is, with this ink that's left on my mat here, I'm going to get my fan brush, which is in my water pot, pick the ink up, and I'm just going to add a few of green splatters, the same ink, just to take away the plainness. And again, I had a message from a lovely lady the other day, and sorry, I can't remember your name, who said she really didn't like the splatters, and they weren't her until she did a design that something was missing and she didn't know what, and she added a couple of splatters and she realised that just finished it off. So I'm so glad. But again, to be honest, if you're not into the splatters, you can leave it without. I just think it just finishes this bit off here. And that's all we're going to do. I did tell you it was a quick catch up today, didn't I? But look at that. Again, it won't take you long to create that design, but I think that is a beautiful, beautiful design. Now you could matte and layer this on black. If I bring my finished one in, I've actually left it and just put it on my card blank. I like the one, I really wanted something really clean and almost classy, but you can put it on black if you want. You can colour the flowers if you want. Again, it's totally up to you because it's your design and I'm just giving you the starting point. So I'd love you to have a go at that. So my challenge for you is to create this lovely along the edge design. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And thank you for joining me. It's always lovely to spend time with you. And thank you for all your lovely comments and to all our lovely new subscribers. Such a lovely family on here. And I do love the way you comment and you answer each other's questions and comments. And I think that's wonderful. I really do. This is just such the lovely side of crafting. And especially when we can be together like this. So I'm going to leave you now. I've got a really busy week ahead, lots and lots of samples to do for upcoming television shows. So have fun, enjoy creating. I can't wait to see what you create. And take care, everybody. As always, much love and hugs from me. Bye for now.